It just happened to be my time. There's things in life that when it's your time to win, it just seems that things fall in the right place. But I was lucky enough that I was on a great 3-week run that capped it off by winning the Tour Championship in the FedEx Cup.
Billy Horschel in the greatest playoff run we've seen in now the 8 years of these playoffs, the 2014 FedEx Cup champion.
It was the most incomparable 3-week stretch in the history of the FedEx Cup playoffs. 2 wins and a runner-up finish cemented the 27-year-old as the youngest ever FedEx Cup champion.
It was just a remarkable run. I was just sort of trying to think about, man, I just did something special. I just had won 2 tournaments in a row, and to come out on top against some great players, it just gives me that extra confidence that when I'm in that position that I have done the right things to rise to the top of the mountain and that I can do it again.
I just have that sense, Johnny, that a star is born. I mean, this guy's now figuring out how good a player he is, and he was great today.
Just to see how he has grown into this and embraced it and matured. To me, that as a mother, that's more important than the money or anything else.
He just shows the Horschel grit. He's just not going to give up. A lot of times he'd be out there playing hard and playing bad, and I just play with heart.
That Horschel grit and determination was ingrained at an early age, hitting balls in his backyard in Grant, Florida. Then continuing through to his college years.
When I got to college at University of Florida, I was a kid that wasn't highly recruited. I got passed over by some other universities in the state of Florida. So I played with that chip all throughout my college career. And I did some unbelievable things in that college career.
The attitude that worked so well in college, however, failed to transfer to his pro game. At 82nd entering the 2014 playoffs, and after a missed cut at the Barclays, he realized a change was in order.
I went home, had some time to think about some things I needed to do better, not golf-wise, but mental-wise, the way I was carrying myself out on the golf course, the way I may have not been nearly as committed to what I was trying to do with each shot.
With a renewed confidence and a clearer perspective, he went to Boston, where he had a chance to win on the 72nd hole.
Chunked it. Chunked it. It's in the water. That's what pressure will do, folks.
After one of the most disappointing shots of his life, Horschel did something completely unexpected. He smiled.
I just laughed. I didn't expect that shot to happen.
The once irascible Horschel, who always wore his heart on his sleeve, had turned a corner.
I would say maybe Billy Horschel at the Galadriel in 2011 would have handled it completely different than the way I handled it this year. So I think that just showed that I matured and that I knew I was a better player than what I showed at that time. I knew that I was going to come back the next week at BMW and play really well and win.
Less than a week away from that unfortunate ending at TPC Boston, Billy Horschel with the biggest victory of his career, the BMW champion 2014.
Horschel knew he always had the game to be successful, but perhaps it was the prospect of fatherhood that helped alter his perspective.
I came home from Atlanta after doing a charity event. I was only home for 3 hours. We had to rush to the hospital, and 20 hours later, Skylar was born into his beautiful world. I've had probably the best 3 weeks that I may ever have in my life at 27 years old. And put the cherry on top was Skylar being born right afterwards.
Just 2 years removed from being ranked 312th in the world, Horschel has climbed 299 spots to 13th. The proud papa is on top of the world, and he plans on staying there.
I think to be the greatest player in the world, you got to be ready for this. You look at a Tiger and a Rory and Phil Mickelson, they do great jobs at managing their time, and that's what I've got to do. And if I want to be in their realm of the world, I've got to deal with everything they have to. It just means that I'm just a step closer to being where I want in this game. I want to be the first player ever to win the FedEx Cup back-to-back. I think if I can just stick to the game plan, we'll be right in that position with having a chance to win the FedEx Cup again.